Welcome back. Today we will discuss the important topic of handling DAR cases, Group C and D, Staff Vertical Bar Vigilance, CVC Composite cases and penalties. Start your preparation process with expert. Get ready to organize. Let's learn the secrets of success in Railway Devils exam and other competitive exams in this comprehensive guide. 1. Procedure for dealing with DAR cases against Group C and D staff arising out of vigilance investigation. In supersession of all previous instructions on the subject, the procedure given below will henceforth be followed for dealing with DAR cases and vigilance clearance of Group C and Group D staff. 1.1 Cases involving Group C and Group D staff only, i.e. not involving any gazetted officer. In these cases, CVC advice is not required. These cases, which are also known as non-CVC cases, be dealt as under 1.1.1 In minor penalty cases, vigilance clearance for a particular case would be given once the Disciplinary Authority, DAR, has finalized the DAR action and a punishment notice, NIP, had been issued. No consultation is necessary with vigilance even if DAR differs with the first stage advice of vigilance organization and penalty imposed is at variance with vigilance advice or DAR exonerates the charged official. DAR is only required to send a copy of NIP exoneration advice along with its speaking order and reasons of disagreement to vigilance promptly, say within a week. In the cases of deviation, vigilance can seek a revision by referring the case to revising authority, RA, if considered necessary. Such revision would, however, not come in the way of vigilance clearance of staff. 1.1.2 For major penalty cases, the vigilance case will get closed once the DAR has imposed any of the major penalties and sends copy of NIP along with its speaking order to vigilance organization. No consultation with vigilance is necessary where DAR intends to impose penalty in accordance with first stage of vigilance organization. However, where punishment is not considered adequate, the vigilance organization can later seek a revision by referring the case to RA as per extant procedure. Such revision would, however, not come in the way of vigilance clearance of staff. 1.1.3 For major penalty cases, where DAR proposes to exonerate or impose a minor penalty, consultation with vigilance would be necessary. In such cases, DAR has to first record his provisional views and consult vigilance organization once giving reasons for disagreement with vigilance advice. Vigilance organization should examine and furnish their comments to DAR on such references. Normally, vigilance organization is expected to furnish their comments to DAR within 2 weeks of receipt of such references. Even if after this consultation, DAR is not in agreement with views of vigilance, then DAR is free to proceed and pass speaking order for exoneration imposition of penalty. Copy of the NIP exoneration advice is required to be promptly sent by DAR to vigilance along with its speaking order and reasons of disagreement within a week of passing such orders. Vigilance organization may seek a revision by referring the case to RA, if considered necessary. However, such a revision would not come in the way of vigilance clearance of staff. 1.1.4 The procedure for consultation with vigilance once as described in para 1.1.3 would also be applicable in major penalty cases when appellate revising authority proposes to exonerate or impose a minor penalty. 1.1.5 Procedure as described in paras 1.1.1 to 1.1.4 above would also be applicable for the cases investigated by Board Vigilance. However, in cases of disagreement of the Appellate Authority RA, Zonal Railway Vigilance has to send case to Board Vigilance along with their comments for consultation. 1.1.6 SDGM CVO may put up details of cases where penalty imposed by the RA is either at variance with vigilance advice or considered inadequate to General Manager, once every quarter, for his information endorsing a copy to A.M. Wig, Railway Board. 2 Composite cases involving Group C and D staff along with Group A officers or Group B officers working in senior scale, also called CVC Composite cases. 2.1 In minor penalty cases, no consultation with Vigilance CVC is necessary if punishment proposed to be imposed by DAR is in line with CVC advice. However, in cases of deviation, case is required to be sent to CVC for reconsideration along with provisional views of DAR and Vigilance comments thereon. Vigilance units should promptly, say within 2 weeks, send the cases to Board Vigilance for seeking CVC's reconsidered advice. DAR is, however, free to pass speaking order and issue NIP if he is still not in agreement with CVC's reconsidered advice. Copy of this NIP along with reasons of his disagreement should be promptly sent to Vigilance for onward transmission to CVC. CVC can include this case in its annual report that is submitted to Parliament and can be discussed by BLE MPs. To point to in major penalty cases, all cases are required to be referred to CVC for second stage advice after completion of inquiry along with IO's report, provisional views of DAR and Vigilance comments. Vigilance case is closed once DAR imposes penalty in accordance with CVC's second stage advice and furnishes a copy of NIP to Vigilance for onward submission to CVC. However, if DAR differs with CVC's second stage advice, case is again required to be referred to CVC for reconsideration along with reasons for disagreement by DAR and Vigilance comments. If DAR still differs with CVC's reconsidered second stage advice, he can pass speaking orders and issue NIP. A copy of NIP along with reasons of disagreement is required to be sent to Board Vigilance for onward submission to CVC. CVC can include this case in its annual report that is submitted to Parliament and can be discussed by BLE MPs. 2.3 The procedure for consultation with CVC once as described in Paras 2.1 and 2.2 would be applicable when Appellate Revisionary Authority proposes to deviate from CVC's advice. 3. Composite cases involving Group C and D staff along with Group B officers. 3.1 Same procedure as prescribed for CVC composite cases detailed in Para 1.2 above would be applicable except that the case would be decided at the level of AM, WIG, and would not be referred to CVC. 3.0 In the light of above instructions, there should not be any difficulty in dealing with DAR cases expeditiously. Vigilance organization will only furnish the current vigilance position about the employee to the executive branch, which has to take decision about promotion, deputation, training, etc. of the employee in accordance with the extant instructions. There should, therefore, be no reason for delay in furnishing vigilance position by the vigilance organization. RBS No. 2006 V1 Meet 61, dated 19th July 2006 RBI 13/2006. 4. Communication of government's displeasure to retired railway servants. In terms of instructions contained in Railway Board's Letter No. E. D&A, 2003 RG 6-35, dated 21st April 2008, Bahris No. 56/2008, government's displeasure should not be communicated to the retired railway servants. Awarding minimum penalty for the staff held responsible in accident cases. The board have already issued norms of punishments in different types of accidents due to common causes arising out of failure of staff. It is not possible to legislate punishment norms for all possible scenarios. The extent of the failure and responsibility of staff and of the sister subordinates and even of the management cannot be clearly distinctly identified applicable for all possible scenarios. Our policy leaves some room for discretion to the general managers of the zonal railways on items not covered in the board's guidelines. It would be advisable that for some specific items the minimum penalty may be got specified with the approval of the GM, where required post facto confirmation of Railway Board may be obtained if considered essential by the railway. Even otherwise, it is up to the Disciplinary Authority to examine such cases judiciously and dispose of the same appropriately. RBS No. 99 Safety, A&R, 61, dated 6 October 2009.